Yo, I wanted to make this video as some sort of response. I like to tell you guys that I do watch this brother video, Brother Splash Wave Beats. He's a solid content creator. He talks about traveling, the passport game, and stuff like that. And I have nothing against the guy at all. I do agree with a lot he be saying, and there are some things that I do disagree with him on, respectfully disagree. It is what it is. But a lot of guys in the traveling sector of YouTube, they always talk about the good side, the light side, everything, how, the women lovers and the culture, this, that, and the third, right? But guys never talk about the other side of the conversation. They never talk about the dark side. And Brother Splash Wave, he's not afraid to go that route and talk about the dark side, especially in East Asia or Southeast Asia. He mainly goes in on Asia. It's like he got a man on for Asia or anybody who's Team Asia. I think it's funny, but before I get started, I don't want anybody to I don't want any of you guys to just be dissing dude or saying anything like super crazy, because I want this to be a critical thinking. I mean, if you agree with him, state why you agree. If you don't, state why you don't. And I want you guys to keep it respectful, because I actually don't have any ill will towards him or super problem with him. Like, he ain't did nothing to me. He might say some things I agree with or even disagree with, but that's it. I'll just keep it at that. But I want to know what you guys think about this talking point.
Yeah. Man, you don't hear many brothers speaking like this out on the street here in the state. None of them.
No, a lot of guys, they shy away from Canada because they think, okay, a lot of guys, they have this thing in their minds where a lot of women, they're afraid of a lot of Western women. They think, okay, Canadian women, they're just more westernized, just like American women. A lot of guys complain about Western women or women in Western countries are feminist, they're masculine, they're rude, they're disrespectful, and this, that, and the third. But you as a man, well, I don't like that. I don't like that mindset, because you're supposed to be a man. How about you tell a woman to shut the hell up and you check that woman? That's what your role is supposed to be. See, a lot of guys that do that complain about rude women or masculine women out west, these are men they're not men. These are just males. Okay? As a man, your job is to check a woman's behavior. You check her. You be a man. She's giving you the opportunity to be a man and check her, because that's what a woman wants you to be. I'm testing a man to see, okay, if I get out of line or somebody else get out of line, is he going to check me? Is he going to check everybody around us? Is he a protector? Is he a provider? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be the toughest guy in the world, but don't back down from nobody. If you backing down from me, you just ready to give up. If I'm talking slick or whatever, then man, I can't. What are you gonna pass on to my kids? You're just gonna pass off that soft energy to my kids. That's what I talk about in nature. You got animals that kill each other just to see, okay, and the woman, the female species on the side is watching them fight to see, okay, who am I gonna procreate with? Who am I gonna have my children? Who is gonna pass on the DNA to me? Who's the strongest? Because only the strong survive, right? So it's like, that's why I say, man, I get so tired of hearing men complaining about women in the West. Oh man, they're rude, they're masculine, this and that. Why don't you be a man and check those women and tell them to shut the hell up? And the reason why is because they're too scared to lose a woman. Well, go ahead.
Okay, how to break this down? I mean, I'm not even gonna completely disagree with some of the points he made, because I can see where he's coming from about how guys don't want to check these women, because there is a lot of guys who just don't want to check these women. And what he said at the end, that's what I agree with too, because a lot of guys, they just don't want to lose pussy at the end of the day. That's really what's holding guys back. Now I can agree with that, but the other points he made, I respectfully disagree with, because like he's saying, he making this, he kind of, brother making it seem like all it takes is just for men to start checking these women, and that's gonna solve the issue, when that's not even the case at all. I'm I'm sorry, but we can't be dismissive of the feminism, the toxic Western culture, the separate sexual liberation, the thought girl culture, the ride girl. Women want to be on this Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat type of vibes. That can't be dismissed. I'm sorry, but it can't. Guys have a legitimate gripe when it comes. That is a legitimate argument. Cause I can see this brother's perspective, but it's like, but a splash way, it's like you only looking at it from your own rose-colored glasses. You looking at it from your own perspective instead of looking at it from another guy's perspective as well. In terms of checking women, yeah, there's a lot of guys who don't check women, but at the same time, there are a lot of guys that do check women and have been doing this for years. We got the men's right, and then you got MGTOW, you got red pill, you got these red pill dating coaches, these red pill P-Ways, red pill lifestyle coaches like Steph is Cold, MJ Get Right. You got these dating group, red pill dating gurus like Kevin Samuels. Like it's the list goes on and on Darvin Sharp, Better Bachelor. A lot of guys calling these women out. And these women, they don't care about men trying to check them. They get mad if men trying to check them, because they want what they want, and they're delusional. They think they ain't supposed to have accountability or get held accountable. A lot of these women, they're telling men they don't care. I mean, you got these women, they still trying to push back and argue with Kevin Samuels. You got these women, they pushing back on TikTok. This is what I like about TikTok. TikTok it's the ultimate entree for female nature, especially Western female nature, because they tell on themselves, even if it's self-consciously, they tell on themselves, they expose their true nature on that app. And a lot of people get exposed on that app. It's getting to the point where guys, they got to use drones to catch that girl. I mean, they're just unleashing their mask on TikTok. I don't seen a girl on TikTok talking about how she had set a date up with a dude who met the list. He was a good looking dude, looked like he had his stuff in order, and then she just flaked on him just to flake on him, just because she said just because she could, as like an ego boost or something like that. Like you can be a dude who got his stuff in order. You got the money, you got yourself together, and a lot of these women, they'll still do a complete 180 on you. Still stab you in the back for another guy who ain't even got as half as you. Man, I hope y'all don't seen that video. This guy, he had to use cameras to catch his girl cheating on him. She did a 180 on the guy in his own house, and the bills he's paying. He paying the bills in that house and everything. He ended up catching him in the act, and he kicked the girl out. And she talking about, where am I going to go? Hey, it ain't his problem. And the dude that she was cheating with, he keep on trying to say that he didn't even know. And the girl said, you should have been on the lookout. It's like, damn, you don't even feel sorry for what you did. Like, accountability don't matter. They don't care. They want what they want. They selfish. It's about what they want. They don't care about accountability, my guy. They don't care about a man checking them. That's not gonna, a man checking women, Western women, that's not gonna work. My guy. And it's not even just black men complaining about Western women. It's every other man as well. It's white men too. Even other white men in other countries, Western countries, they're complaining about the women, the feminism and all that. I mean, it's gotten so bad that even Swiss men from Switzerland, they're leaving the women in droves. And the women, the Swiss women, they're complaining about the Swiss men leaving and wifing up the Thai women. And then you got female dating coaches, they leaving the dating game, the dating coach game, because these women are unrealistic. Olivia Pope and so many other female dating coaches. Most of the female dating coaches, they just dating coaches for men. Like, they're leaving the female dating coaching for the women. They're leaving the game because the Western woman is ridiculous. I was about to say she's the problem. It's really the culture that's the problem. And then you got videos of women, bruh. They talking about you need to have 3 rats, 5 rats, just to talk with them in your bank account, just to talk with them. Or you need to have 10 rats or 20 rats just to talk with them, just to talk to another human being. Or they dissing a dude because he ain't tall enough. I seen a video of a dude said, would you give me the time of day? And she was like, no. And he's like, why? What's it about you that I can't get a time of day? She was like, look at her. You see the arrogance? It's a lot of arrogance to a lot of these chicks out here.
Yeah, turn my stomach upside down.
Yeah, but I tell guys all the time, man. A lot of these women, you got to play your role. A lot of males in America, they're not playing their role. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
you're looking over to another culture, but a lot of the men in another culture, they're playing their role. They're playing their position. They stick to a code, a man code, that a lot of brothers aren't doing.
Nope. I don't see any of them doing that. I'm just, man, since my granddad passed away, man, it was back in 2019.
I'm not going to dismiss these guys' experience. Maybe they in the area and they see a lot of brothers that's not really playing their role out here. Because there is this thing, well, the men, especially like in black society, where the men become more feminine and the women become more masculine. So I can see why they would say that, but at the same time, bro, that's cap for the most part. That's not necessarily true. Men are playing their role out here. I don't understand why anyone would say men are not playing their role when men are blatantly playing their role. Men are out here working, they're doing their things. And again, like, even if you're a man and that you meeting all the bucket list, you got your own stuff, you got your own crib and stuff, you got a little going on for yourself, your money is in line, resources in line. A lot of times, there are many times when a woman, she'll still do a complete 180 on you. Even if you do have all that, these women will still act uncooperative. So I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with that notion, with that talking point. And then when it comes to going to another culture, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with going to another culture if things aren't working out in the culture that you're at? The West is falling apart. It is what it is. Why should guys have to stay here and suffer in silence where they can just go to a different environment? And the reason why other men, they got it so good is because they set the tone in their cultures. It's a different culture there. It's not the same as Western culture. There's a patriarchal culture in these societies. When the men dominate, the women, it's not feminism. It's not too blatant down there in these other cultures. Not taking that into account as well. And a lot of times, I mean, you ain't taking flat out culture, like the culture difference. Men are actually valued in these other cultures. Masculinity, patriarchy and family structure is actually valued in those cultures compared to America, where you got single motherhood, kids out of wedlock. It's just super blatant here in the States. And it's being promoted that women would rather be a single mother than somebody's wife and have a family. Here in the States. That's Western culture. That's toxic Western culture. And I'm not trying to say that Canada's like that, because I don't know about Canada. I live in America, and a lot of guys would just assume that since all these other places are Western, then it's the same as America. When that may not be the truth 100%, but you have to take into account that America sets the tone in Western society. So wherever America's on, all these other Western cultures, they're going to try to indoctrinate that within their society. Maybe not as blatant as America, but it's still there. And I'm not saying that brothers couldn't have no luck in these other Western cultures. Because even some of the men the local men in these other Western cultures, they're complaining. They're complaining as well about these women. So we can't just say that it's just men. Men don't want to be men. These are just males. Like, I think that's a little bit of gaslighting. Because what about these other countries? I heard that a lot of guys in Brazil are quote unquote going red pill. So guys all over the globe are complaining. Even look at Japan. Look what's going on in China. They damn near just like Japan. I think it's gaslighting. We can't just say these guys who are complaining, these aren't men, they're males. I think that's gaslighting. A lot of guys have legitimate grievances. Now I will say this, that complaining without offering solutions, then I can say, yo, these are just males, they're not men. But when it comes to some of these Western cultures, a brother from the States, they can go into some of these Western cultures and make it big, or won't even have any issues with some of these women because he's seen as exotic. Just because he's American, he's from somewhere else. And whatever issues that got going on in those particular Western countries, it could be an intercultural thing. It could be that's just between the local men and the local women, and that might not even apply to foreign men when they go to those countries. Just like what my guy, One Master Teacher said, that some of those issues that some of these guys are complaining in these other Western cultures, that may not even apply to you just because you're American or just because like you're a foreigner. You're not the local man. So I'll take that into consideration as well, just to be fair and balanced. Because I'm trying to be neutral.
I look around, I do not see one guy stood up for their woman. They were carrying a woman's purse, left and right. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
They wearing a woman's clothes, skinny jeans, makeups. Oh my goodness, it's on and on and on. And the list is going on.
My guy, that's just culture. They ain't got nothing to do with the men not wanting to play their role. That's just culture. Like the skinny jeans, that's just culture, like fashion. I think that's a little gaslighting. But you saying that the women, that they're holding women purses and stuff like that, I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe that's what you saw. But when I walk around, I don't see men holding women's purses, and I don't even see men wearing skinny jeans like that anymore. That was just like a fashion thing, a culturally fashion thing. Like, I do not see men holding women purses and stuff like that, or not sticking up for their girl. That's cap. Because a lot of times these guys stick up for their girl, even when the girl's in their room, when they get caught red-handed, creeping with another dude, doing a complete 180. I see a lot of videos out here when a dude catches girl doing a complete 180, he not going in on the girl, he's trying to check the other dude. I don't see a lot of these situations. So I don't know why this dude is saying this.
Exactly. If there's a huge role reversal in today's society, then how is a woman not going to be masculine? You know, if the roles are reversed, then naturally a woman is going to be masculine. I don't see how a lot of guys don't see that. Alfonso, he said
I can break that down easily. It's not that guys are not playing their roles. Or there are some guys out here who may not be playing their roles properly. Yeah, I'm not going to say they ain't. But is this the large majority? No. And then I do agree with what you're saying about how ardent the women, how are they not going to flip the script and go to a masculine role. And I have to agree with that. I do agree with that. Because it's to be expected. But it's not anything, it's not men's fault. It's these women's own fault. This is like, what did society expect to happen when the women asked for feminism and sexual liberation and empowerment? This was bound to happen. This is just the inevitable. Of course, they got feminism. The feminism indoctrinating them to think that they equal to men and all this. Of course, they're gonna go to a more masculine role. They got more opportunities. They don't need to rely on men for the resources. They can go get the resources on their own. So that's not really a reason for them to be quote unquote feminine. Why? Why should they be feminine to men when they can just get their own resources? They really don't need men for anything. So that goes this whole devaluing men. That's what that plays into. Yeah, it's one more point I want to talk about. I couldn't find it in the video. Maybe it was in another video, but it's another part where one might insist that why not just go like get a chick from Western society? At least she has something going on for herself as well. compared to getting with somebody from like South America or Asia, where they don't really got much going for themselves. And I feel like that's kind of like a stereotype. Like, not everybody's poor in these areas. There's some middle class to upper class areas within these second world countries. Like, all the money is just not in the first world country. That's like a stereotype. And a lot of guys don't really care about that. I mean, it's a plus. Don't get me wrong. And the argument is that, you want somebody who's going to invest in you. And yeah, I can concede to that. I actually agree with that. It would be nice to have somebody that's going to invest in you. No blow bag up on you. Facts. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, does the guy care about that? Is that like his main concern? No, that's just a plus. I mean, if y'all ask me, that's just a plus. And the thing is, it's like the cooperation. Like, you can't get both, like the bag and cooperation. Like, son's gonna give when it comes to these modern day Western women. I don't know about Canada, because Canada can be different, like what the brother said in the video. And I'm definitely going to Canada. Yeah, I'm about to holler at Canada. That's gonna be my first trip, and it won't even take that long. It's damn near close to America. But I'm saying, like, specifically here in America, it's like, if you meet a chick that's got a little something going for themselves, you're not gonna get both the bag and cooperation. Like that, just no, not gonna happen. And this whole thing I heard this argument that men are intimidated with women who got something going on for themselves. That's not the case at all. Not the case. Men are not intimidated by women who are successful and got some stuff going on for themselves. Not the case. Men don't care about that. The thing is, it's the attitude that comes with them having stuff going on for themselves. Now they think, can't nobody tell them nothing, and then they ain't got to cooperate and be uncombative with a dude. It's the attitude that comes with that. And guys ain't really, they don't want to deal with that. So they tend to leave those type of chicks alone. And then you got to take account the hypergamy as well. Women are hypergamous by nature. They're not going to want somebody who's not on their level. Even guys who are on their level, they don't want them. They want guys who are above them. I mean, that's just hypergamy. And you got feminism that just amplifying all that, like Kaioken. And I'm not saying that's every female in Western society, especially in America, but many of them are like that. And I'm not even going to say that many females in other Western society, like Canada, maybe Ukraine somewhere, or like that. I'm not even going to say that, because even within the Western diaspora, things are a bit different than each other. Because a guy can go to one of these Western countries right now and do pretty well when it comes to the dating or any other aspects in life. Because you're seen as exotic because you're American or you're a foreigner. So the issues that might be going on between the local men and the women when it comes to like dating or other aspects in life might not apply to you. But I'm mainly talking about America. Specifically in America. Issues that we got going on in America. A lot of guys just value the cooperation more. And like, if I can get the cooperation in the bag as well, then I'll go with that. This is all I want to say. I just want to bring a different perspective. This is the whole point of the video. It was just to bring a different perspective on the topic this brother was making on his video. Again, shout out to brother Splashway Beats. He's not a bad dude. I might have some agreements and disagreements here and there, but he's not a bad dude. Overall, bad dude. I still think I can learn a lot from him. You guys can learn a little something from him. And that's all I wanted to say. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it, because I know some of you guys, you support the traveling, or you guys are actually travelers. Some of you guys are kind of like, I think some of you guys are vets. You were stationed in certain countries, I think. But I definitely want to know what your guys' opinions on this topic, because I know some of you guys traveled before. And most importantly, you guys are black men. I want to know your perspective. And I'm out.